do not waive your right to counsel. In this video, we are going to be talking about right to counsel. We're going to give examples, okay, where two individuals waive their right to counsel and consequences that they have to now face because of it. My name is Bijoux Ngwanda. I'm an immigration lawyer based here in DC. I do work with individuals across the country and around the world because we are dealing with complex U.S. immigration law cases. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. Thank you for subscribing. And please do not forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. If you enjoy the content, you go ahead and share, like, and don't forget to comment below. Also follow me on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook page, Facebook group, especially on TikTok and Instagram and all those Facebook pages and private Facebook group. We are trying to reach at least 1,000 followers. Why? Because if we do reach 1,000 followers, especially on TikTok, I will be giving live sessions, okay? Live sessions so that I can answer questions live. That's the goal, right? So, and if we reach 1,000 subscribers or followers on Instagram and on Facebook group and pages, well, that too will motivate me to do more, okay? Live sessions where we can take questions, where we can invite you in to ask your questions. So help me help you, okay? It's always like that. Help me help you. Let's get right into it. So we have two different individuals, right? I have one client, okay, who came to me after the facts. What happened was the client had an attorney. Remember that in immigration matters, when it comes to immigration, you have the right to be represented by an attorney at no cost of the government. So the government's not gonna pay for your attorney, but you have the right to be represented. So you can go with a pro bono attorney, like you can find a one that if you don't have money, you can find the one that you don't have to pay them. If you have money, you can find a paid one, okay? But you have your right to be represented by an attorney. What happened was this client had an attorney and they filed a marriage petition based on basically the wife is a U.S. citizen and they want to get a green card based on marriage. They went to their first interview and the attorney was present. Because the attorney was present, no problems, okay, were found. Then they were invited for the second interview. At the time they arrived for the second interview, I'm not sure why, but their attorney was not present. And then the officer asked them if they want to waive their right, and so that the officer can conduct the interview without their attorney being present. They say yes, they waive their right. My friend, if you have to waive your right, it has to be voluntarily and knowingly. Knowingly means that you have to really understand the consequences of what can happen during that interview. And as you know it, when the attorney is not there, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes those USCIS officers will use intimidation tactics, okay, techniques. And if you're so intimidated, you can say things that you should have never said. That's what happened. They waived their right. Then they wrote an affidavit, really like a confession, stating that, well, my marriage is not a good marriage, it's a sham marriage, blah, blah, blah. My friend, that was a big mistake, okay? You have an attorney. Why would you waive the right to an attorney? Because you had an attorney. And what happened was, I don't know what really went down, but the fact that they waived the right to this attorney being present during their interview, things went bad. They sign affidavits. The spouse, not my client, but the spouse signed an affidavit like a confession, okay? And then everything went down. Finally, USCIS denied the green card, stating that you confessed that you entered in a marriage of shame. You didn't provide enough evidence to show that this marriage is a good faith marriage. And now the person is ineligible for other benefits, okay? When this person came to me, the first thing we had to do is to actually go through the entire case and find things that we think was wrongful act, okay? Because now USCIS is saying that, well, you need a waiver of misrepresentation, of fraud. But remember, when it comes to sham marriage, it's more than just a waiver of misrepresentation and fraud, because we know that fraudulent marriage is not waivable. So what we had to do is we had to go back from the beginning and point out wrongful acts, okay, from the part of the officers, just to show them that, listen, this person, first of all, they don't speak fluently English, and they came to the interview and you knew that they were represented, but because they were intimidated to go to comply with the officer, they waived their right. We don't think that waiving this right was, they did that knowingly, okay? And not to mention the confession you obtain is in violation of due process of law, because those people are represented. Not to mention, you made them sign some type of affidavit, and you really, based on your own experience, decided to conduct the interview in English. Just because you thought that this person can understand English doesn't mean that you have to conduct the interview in English, because this person has the right to an interpreter. Okay, because the BIA has already said that if the person does not speak fluently English, they have a right to an interpreter, and they have the right to a competent interpreter. Okay, so we had to go through all that. First of all, pointing out wrongful acts, what we believe are wrongful. Okay, and then we had to tell them that this one cannot become a 2,4-C, like a bar, because really there's a lot of misunderstanding in this case. It cannot turn into a bar of, because with fraudulent marriage, then you are barred from subsequent petitions. So we had to point those things out first. And even though they claim misrepresentation, this is the waiver because of extreme hardship and to the U.S. citizen spouse and to the U.S. citizen child. Now this is the second spouse, right? Because the other marriage ended it in divorce. My friend, do not do it. Just don't do it. If you have your lawyer, just go with your lawyer on the day of the interview. Even if you had to pay extra for the lawyer to be present. Because what is the purpose of having the lawyer if the lawyer is not going to be present at the day of the interview? If they're not going to be physically present, they have to listen to the entire thing over the phone, so they will know how to object to things. They have to listen to the entire interview over the phone. So, big mistake, don't do it. Second story, this is so huge. I don't know if we have to revisit the case again, but what happened was the lawyer, they had pretty much waived the right to appeal. When you go to court to defend your asylum, you have a lot of form of reliefs that you're asking: asylum, an alternative, maybe cancellation of removal, or maybe withholding of removal, CAT, Convention Against Torture. And if it doesn't work, while you reserve your right to appeal, right? So you can have your chance to go to BIA, to go to U.S. District Court, like federal court, even to go further to Supreme Court. So you cannot waive your right to appeal. This is a case where one of my clients, I believe what happened was she did not understand the procedures because she was represented by an attorney, but the attorney did not reserve the right to appeal on some other allegations. And now that she's eligible to adjust status, they went back to court. The court said that, well, you already waived your right to appeal, so this allegation stands. Therefore, this allegation renders you inadmissible. And because it's not waivable, there's nothing you can do. You're stuck there. At this point, really, what are you going to do? Well, maybe you have to come up with a claim of ineffective assistance of counsel, things of that nature. Two different stories, one with USCIS, one with immigration court. Regardless, do not waive the right to counsel, because if you have retained a lawyer, they have to be there during the proceedings. And if they are there, they cannot waive the right to appeal. That's just that, you know. So we're going to work on those cases, and we're going to be updating you on the results, because we think that it's important to be effectively represented. Okay, it's important that you understand your rights. It's important that you reserve your rights. It's important that you if you have to waive them, it has to be knowingly and voluntarily. If it's not knowingly, if it's not voluntarily, well, don't do it. Not worth it. Lot of consequences. If you need a consultation again with me, please schedule it at your own time by using the link in the description box below. Until next time, bye-bye.